Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're setting off on a bit of a linguistic adventure. We want to help you really elevate your English, move past just being correct and into expressing yourself with more precision, more power.
Yeah, making you more evocative.
Exactly. We've got some great material here from excerpts from the Vocabulary Leap. 10 advanced English words.
Right.
And this is really for anyone who feels like they've hit that fluency plateau,
Yeah.
You can chat, you understand stuff, but maybe your own words feel a bit basic sometimes.
Yeah, like you can't quite get the nuance across.
Precisely. So our mission today is to strategically add a new layer to your language. Think about saying, like, the problem got a lot worse
Right.
versus saying the policy exacerbated the problem. See the difference?
Oh, yeah. Much sharper, more analytical.
Right. It signals a whole different level.
It really does. And it's not just about, sounding smart for the sake of it. It's about expression, adding texture, depth, signaling that you really grasp the nuances of a situation.
Yeah.
And the great thing about these words we're looking at today, they're not super obscure.
No, they're useful.
They're powerful, versatile words you can actually use to, well, say more with less, often carrying specific feelings or connotations. Really lets you handle complex ideas elegantly.
Couldn't agree more. So let's dive in. Let's unpack these 10 words. We'll start with one you might have heard, but maybe haven't quite grasped its full power.
Okay, let's do it.
First up, ubiquitous. That's ubiquitous, pronounced ubbiwitis.
Ubiquitous. Got it.
It's an adjective, core, meaning present, appearing, or found everywhere. But the real key here is it's way beyond just common.
Right. It implies something is so pervasive, so widespread, it's almost impossible to escape. Like, think about smartphones today.
Exactly. You literally see them everywhere.
Yeah, the power of ubiquitous is really in that scale it suggests. And maybe the tone, too.
How so?
Well, it's often used as an observation, maybe with a hint of weariness, especially when we talk about technology or, trends. It implies saturation.
Like, oh, look, another coffee shop.
Kind of, yeah. That feeling of something being truly saturated in the environment.
And the history is pretty cool. It comes from Latin, ubique, meaning everywhere.
Ubique, okay.
Which is made from ubi, where, and this little suffix q, meaning and or any. So literally anywhere and everywhere.
Huh, makes sense.
It popped up in English early 19th century, and originally, get this, it was used in theology.
Really? For what?
To describe God's omnipresence, being everywhere at once.
Wow, okay, that adds some weight to it.
Doesn't it? It helps you remember that massive scale. So think about examples like Wi-Fi hotspots are ubiquitous now.
True.
Or the Coca-Cola logo is probably one of the most ubiquitous symbols globally.
Definitely.
Even culturally, like superhero movies feel pretty ubiquitous these days.
Oh, yeah. Can't escape them.
Or in science. Studies on the ubiquitous nature of microplastics. Or just day-to-day. Those electric scooters are ubiquitous downtown.
Good examples. And it helps to know the words it often travels with, the collocations.
Right. Like what?
You often hear things are ubiquitous in a place or ubiquitous across a region or nearly ubiquitous.
Okay.
And people talk about a ubiquitous presence or ubiquitous technology.
Gotcha. So how does it stack up against similar words like common?
Well, common is much weaker. Your specific brand of car might be common on your street, but cars themselves are ubiquitous in modern society. See the scale difference?
Yeah, big difference. What about pervasive?
Pervasive is closer, but it often has a slightly more negative feel, like something unwelcome spreading everywhere. Ubiquitous is usually more neutral.
Okay, and omnipresent.
That's the strongest, really. Often kept for abstract things, powerful concepts.
Yeah.
Or, back to its roots, deities.
Right, and the opposites.
Easy ones. Rare, scarce, infrequent.
So the key takeaway for you listening, don't use ubiquitous for something that's just common in a small area.
Exactly. It needs that grand, widespread scale. It has to feel like it's genuinely everywhere within a large system, a city, a country, the globe, modern culture.
Got it. Okay, so that's the pervasive. Now let's flip to the opposite. Things that don't last. Things that are maybe beautiful because they're brief.
Ah, yes. A lovely concept.
Which brings us to word number 2, ephemeral. E-P-H-E-M-E-R-A-L, pronounced ephemeral.
Ephemeral.
Nice.
Adjective again, meaning lasting for a very short time, transitory.
And this word, has such a poetic feel, doesn't it? It's not just short-lived.
No, it's more than that.
It evokes this sense of, like, transient beauty, something precious because it won't stick around. Think cherry
Oh,
blossoms.
perfect example. Or a rainbow.
Exactly. Or those mayflies that live for just a day. It often has a slightly melancholic, maybe philosophical tone.
Wistful, maybe? Wistful. Yeah, that's a good word for it. And you can apply it to emotions, moments, even things like fame. Using it really makes a comment on impermanence.
And the origin story is just perfect Greek.
Ephemeral.
Ephemeros, meaning lasting only one day. It comes from epi, meaning on, and hemera, meaning day.
On a day. Literally.
Literally on a day, like those mayflies. That image really helps it stick, I think.
Really does.
So examples. The artist created these intricate sand mandalas, truly ephemeral masterpieces, gone with the wind.
Beautiful, yeah.
Or more profoundly, human life itself can feel ephemeral.
Yeah.
Deep culturally. Viral fame is notoriously ephemeral. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Definitely.
Or even just a feeling. She cherished that ephemeral moment of peace, watching the sunset. And maybe in business, their competitive edge turned out to be ephemeral.
Right, didn't last. So thinking about how we use it,
Yeah.
you often see pairings like ephemeral nature, ephemeral beauty, ephemeral moment, or ephemeral art, ephemeral fame, ephemeral success.
Yeah. Makes sense. How does it differ from, say, short-lived?
Well, short-lived is just factual, isn't it? It lacks all that poetic weight, the emotional color of ephemeral.
Right. What about fleeting?
Fleeting emphasizes the speed of it passing by. Ephemeral is more about the whole naturally short duration of its existence.
Okay. And transitory.
More formal, maybe a bit drier, less poetic than ephemeral.
Gotcha. And the opposites would be?
Things that last. Permanent, eternal, enduring, perpetual.
Okay, so the common mistake to avoid.
Using it for things that are just quick or brief. Like you wouldn't call a quick meeting ephemeral.
No, that sounds weird.
Exactly. Save it for things that have a kind of natural, complete, but short lifespan. It describes a whole state of being short-lived, not just a quick event.
That's a really helpful distinction. Okay, moving from the fleeting to the super, super careful. Our next word, meticulous. meticulous. Pronounced meticulous.
Meticulous, a great word.
Adjective, meaning showing great attention to detail. Very careful and precise.
And this one goes way beyond just careful. Meticulous implies this, like almost obsessive focus on the tiny details.
Aiming for perfection.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It suggests a really conscious, systematic, painstaking process. And it's almost always positive.
Yeah, it sounds like a compliment.
Oh, absolutely. Calling someone's work meticulous praises their diligence, their professionalism, their high standards. It's about the effort involved.
And the etymology is fascinating because it kind of flipped its meaning.
Tell me more.
It comes from Latin meticulosus.
Yeah.
Originally, this meant fearful or timid.
Fearful, how does that relate?
From miwe, meaning fear. The idea was someone was meticulous because they were afraid of making a mistake.
Ah, so the fear drove the extreme care.
Exactly. But over time, that negative sense of fear just dropped away, and now we're left with the positive meaning of extreme care and precision.
Wow, that's a cool evolution.
Isn't it? So think of examples like the financial audit required meticulous attention to detail.
Makes sense.
Or the historian was praised for her meticulous research.
Right.
A Swiss watch is a product of meticulous craftsmanship.
Definitely.
Or even people. He's meticulous about his appearance. Or crime scenes. The investigators were meticulous in gathering evidence.
Good range. And common pairings.
You hear meticulous planning, meticulous attention to detail, obviously. Also meticulous record keeping, meticulous research, meticulous work, meticulous craftsmanship.
Right, so how is it different from, say, thorough?
Thorough is more about completeness, checking everything. Meticulous adds that extra layer of precision, focusing on the tiny details within the whole.
Okay. And fastidious.
Close, but fastidious can have a slightly negative edge, like being overly picky or hard to please. Meticulous is usually just positive praise.
Got it. And scrupulous.
Scrupulous often brings in a moral element, like being careful because it's the right thing to do. Meticulous is more about the quality of the work itself.
Makes sense. And opposites.
Oh, easy ones again. Sloppy, careless, negligent, and one we'll get to later, perfunctory.
Ah, foreshadowing.
Ah, yeah. So the key point for listeners, don't just use meticulous for someone who's generally neat or tidy.
Right. Well, they often go together.
The word is really about the process, how the work is done, the extreme care taken during the action, not just the neat outcome.
Excellent distinction.
So thinking about processes. Sometimes they go wrong or make things worse, which leads us perfectly to word number 4, exacerbate. E-X-A-C-E-R-B-A-T-E. Pronounced ig-z-a-s-erbate.
Exacerbate. Okay, a verb this time.
Yep, a verb meaning to make a problem, bad situation, or negative feeling worse.
And this is such a useful formal word. It's a real step up from just saying make worse.
Definitely more punch.
Yeah, and it specifically implies there was already a bad situation.
Ah, right.
And then something new comes along and makes that existing bad situation even more intense. It feels quite clinical, analytical, like you're diagnosing the cause of the worsening.
Yeah, removes the emotion a bit. And the origin helps explain that intensity. Latin,
Exacerbate.
meaning to make harsh or to irritate.
Right.
It's got ex, which is an intensifier, like thoroughly,
Okay.
and acerbus, meaning harsh, bitter, or sour.
Ah, like acerbic.
Exactly. So literally to make thoroughly bitter or harsh. I like the analogy of like adding lemon juice to a cut.
Ooh, yeah. Takes something already bad and makes it sting more.
Precisely. So examples. The trade war will likely exacerbate economic tensions medically. Running on it will only exacerbate his knee injury
Right.
environmentally. The drought exacerbated the risk of wildfires.
Sure.
Personally, bringing that up now will just exacerbate the argument.
Yeah, don't do it.
And economically, rising fuel costs exacerbated the inflation crisis.
Clear examples. It
Yeah.
usually partners with negative things.
Absolutely. Its common pairings are always with nouns representing bad stuff. You exacerbate the problem, exacerbate the situation, exacerbate the crisis.
Or exacerbate tensions, symptoms, and injury, inequalities.
Right. So how does it compare to worsen?
Worsen is just less formal, more everyday.
Aggravate.
Very close, often used interchangeably.
Yeah.
Maybe aggravate is slightly more common for physical things like injuries, but they're very similar.
Okay.
Compound. Compound suggests adding another problem on top of an existing one. Exacerbate is more about intensifying the original problem.
Got it. And inflame.
Inflame is often more metaphorical, used for making things like anger or violence worse, like inflaming passions or inflaming a conflict.
Okay. And the opposites. How do you make things better?
Words like alleviate, soothe, ameliorate, mitigate.
Good ones. So key takeaways for using exacerbate. First, pronunciation. Ig, Z-A-S, or bait.
Practice that one, yeah.
And second, remember it's only for making an existing bad situation worse.
Crucial point. You can't exacerbate something good or neutral. It has to act on something already negative.
Right, you don't exacerbate a sunny day by bringing clouds, you ruin it.
Exactly.
Okay, moving from making things worse to making things clearer. Our next word is fantastic for that. Elucidate. E-L-U-C-I-D-A-T-E, pronounced A-L-O site date.
A-L-O state, another verb.
Yep, meaning to make something clear, to explain.
But again, like exacerbate, it's a step up from the basic word, right? More elegant than just explain.
Definitely more formal, more academic sounding.
Yeah, it implies you're shedding light on something that was, complex, maybe obscure, confusing.
Untangling it.
Exactly, untangling concepts. When you ask someone to elucidate, you're really asking for a deeper, more thorough explanation.
And using it yourself suggests you're about to clarify something tricky.
Right, it signals a kind of intellectual generosity. Let me make this clear for you.
And the origin is just beautiful. Late Latin,
Yeah.
elucidare,
Elucidare?
from E meaning out, and lucidus meaning clear, bright.
Oh, like lucid.
Exactly, which comes from lux, meaning light. So to elucidate is literally to bring light out.
To make bright. I love that. Shining a light on confusion.
Perfect image, isn't it? So examples. The professor used diagrams to elucidate the theory in business. Could you elucidate on the new strategy?
Good question.
Legal setting. The lawyer asked the witness to elucidate his previous statement.
Standard procedure.
Reports. We need to elucidate the reasons for the budget shortfall, or even just correcting yourself. Perhaps I should elucidate what I meant.
Nice save. How does it usually appear in sentences?
Often used with on, like elucidate on the findings, or followed by what's being made clear. Elucidate the meaning, elucidate the point, elucidate the process.
Got it. So how is it different from just explain?
Explain is basic, works for simple things. Elucidate suggests a more complex subject matter.
And clarify.
Clarify is more about removing confusion that already exists. Elucidate is often about making something clear that was simply obscure or difficult to begin with, bringing the light to it.
Subtle difference. Expound.
Expound means to explain something in great detail, systematically. Elucidate is more about just making it clear.
And illuminate. Very close. Illuminate is a beautiful synonym, also using that light metaphor. Elucidate might feel slightly more formal or academic.
Okay. And the opposites. Words for making things less clear.
Oh, great ones. Obfuscate, confuse, confound, obscure.
Excellent. So, the mistake to avoid here.
Using it for really simple things like, can you elucidate how the coffee machine works?
Yeah, sounds a bit much.
Totally. Save it for concepts, theories, complex reasons, intricate processes, and things that genuinely need that light shown on them.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, from clarity to, well, maybe too much of something. Our sixth word is plethora. Plethora. Pronounced a noun this time.
Yes, a noun, meaning a large or excessive amount of something.
And this is one I hear misused quite a bit. People often just use it to mean a lot.
Right, but there's more to it.
There really is. Its core meaning, especially if you look at its history, is about excess, a superabundance, maybe even too much.
Ah, so it carries a hint of overfullness.
Exactly. It suggests the quantity itself is notable, maybe even a bit problematic or overwhelming. Using it correctly implies that the sheer amount is the key point you're making. Okay, so tell me about that history. You mentioned medicine.
Yeah, it's wild. It comes straight from Greek, plethora, meaning fullness. But in ancient Greek medicine, it was a specific term for an excess of blood in the body.
Whoa.
Yeah, considered a morbid excess, something that could make you sick. So remembering that original sense of a potentially harmful oversupply helps get the nuance right.
That's fascinating. So, examples.
Think about the streaming service has a plethora of options it's hard to choose. The excess makes choosing difficult.
Okay, I feel that.
Or students today face a plethora of information online. Again, the sheer volume is the challenge.
Right, finding the good stuff.
It can imply negative excess too, like the report was confusing due to a plethora of jargon.
Too much technical language.
But it can be used more neutrally or positively now, like we received a plethora of donations.
Okay.
Or despite a plethora of applications for the job, few were qualified. The large number is the point.
Got it. And it's almost always used in a specific phrase, right?
Yeah, nearly always a plethora of something. Common pairings are a plethora of options choices, a plethora of information, a plethora of reasons examples.
Okay. So how is it different from abundance?
Abundance usually feels more positive, just having lots of something good. Plethora often keeps that subtle hint of maybe too much.
Surfeit.
Surfeit is even stronger on the too much scale, often implying disgust or weariness because of the excess.
Okay. Plenty. Myriad?
Plenty is just common, like a lot. Myriad emphasizes not just a large number, but also great variety, a myriad of possibilities.
Gotcha. And opposites. Not having enough.
Scarcity, paucity, dearth, lack.
Right. So the big mistake with plethora.
Overusing it for just a lot, saying I have a plethora of friends just sounds off.
A bit unnatural, yeah.
Save it for when the large quantity, the excessiveness, is really the point you want to highlight. And remember, it's a noun. You have a plethora of things.
Good advice. Okay. From excess to the idea of a perfect, maybe mythical solution. Word 7. Panacea. Panacea. Pronounced panacea.
Panacea. Another noun.
Meaning a solution or remedy for all difficulties or diseases. A cure-all.
And the key thing about panacea is it usually doesn't exist in real life, right?
Exactly. It describes this perfect universal fix that's almost always hypothetical or, well, mythical.
So how is it typically used then?
Most often, actually, in a negative or skeptical way. You hear, it's not a panacea, or there is no panacea.
Ah, okay. So using it often signals you're being critical.
Precisely. It shows you're wary of simplistic answers, that you recognize things are complex. It's a great word to push back against those magic bullet solutions.
Makes sense. And I bet the origin story is good for this one.
Oh, it's fantastic. Greek mythology. Panacea was the goddess of universal remedy.
A goddess.
Daughter of Asclepius, the god of medicine. Her name literally means all healing, from pan meaning all, and ekos meaning remedy.
All healing. Can't
Yeah.
be clearer than that.
Nope. So it perfectly captures that idea of a single fix for everything. Think about, in politics. Tax cuts were hailed by some as a solution, but they were clearly not a panacea for the economy.
Right, didn't solve everything.
Or technology. The internet was hoped to be a panacea for global understanding, but, well, we know how that turned out.
More complex.
Business. Hiring a star CEO is rarely a panacea for deep-seated company problems.
Needs more than one person?
Personal development. Mindfulness helps many, but it's not a panacea for all mental health struggles. Or just skeptically, is this app really a panacea for modern loneliness?
Good examples showing that negative framing, and common phrases reflect that.
Totally. Not a panacea, no panacea, searching for a panacea. Those are the most common ways you'll encounter it.
Okay. How does it compare to cure-all?
Cure-all is basically the same meaning, just much less formal.
Universal remedy.
That's just the descriptive phrase, really.
Yeah.
Panacea is the single word.
Magic bullet. Elixir.
Magic bullet is a common idiom, very similar. Elixir sounds more magical, maybe alchemical or mythical.
Right. And does it have a direct opposite?
Not really a single word. The opposite of the cure-all is just the problem itself. The disease, the affliction, the bane, the curse, the problem.
Interesting. So the main pitfall.
Using it for just any solution. If you fix one specific issue, that's a solution, maybe a remedy. A panacea has to be the fix for everything in that context. Its power is in that usually non-existent universality.
Got it. So always question if something is truly being presented as an all-healing fix before using the word.
Exactly. Okay, from mythical cures to very real secrets. Word number 8, clandestine. C-L-A-N-D-E-S-T-I-N-E. Pronounced clandestine.
Clandestine. Ooh, I like this one. Adjective.
Me too. It means kept secret or done secretively, especially because it is illicit or forbidden.
Yeah, this is such a step up from just secret, isn't it? It's got this immediate vibe of intrigue, mystery.
Forbidden stuff. Spies. Illicit affairs.
Totally. It strongly suggests the secrecy is for a specific reason, usually something illegal or morally questionable or dangerous if it gets out.
Yeah.
Adds real drama.
And the etymology gives a great visual. Latin, clandestinus.
Clandestinus.
From clam, meaning in secret, privately. It's related to cellar, to hide, where we get conceal.
Ah, okay.
So the image is something done literally in the dark, behind closed doors, hidden away for a shady reason.
Perfect. Helps it stick. Examples.
Classic spy stuff. The agent arranged a clandestine meeting. Historically, the resistance movement operated a clandestine network,
Right.
journalism. An investigation sparked by a tip about a clandestine arms deal.
Ooh, juicy.
Personal drama. Their clandestine affair lasted years. Or business. Accusations of clandestine price-fixing meetings.
It carries that illicit weight and common pairings.
Often modifies things like meetings, operations, relationships, activities. Clandestine meeting, clandestine operation, clandestine relationship, clandestine activities.
Makes sense. How does it compare to covert?
Very close. Covert is often used more specifically in military or espionage contexts, like a covert operation. Clandestine is maybe slightly broader, but carries a similar weight.
Okay. Surreptitious.
Surreptitious emphasizes the stealth or slyness used to keep something secret, like stealing a glance surreptitiously.
And furtive.
Furtive often implies nervousness or guilt, along with the secrecy. Like a furtive glance suggests they're afraid of being caught. Clandestine feels more deliberate, planned.
Good distinctions.
Opposites.
Things done out in the open. Open, public, overt, transparent.
Right. So the big mistake to avoid.
Using it for simple, harmless secrets.
Like a surprise party.
Exactly. Calling a surprise party clandestine sounds way too dramatic, almost silly. Same for, like, keeping a personal diary secret.
It needs higher stakes.
Definitely. Save clandestine for when the secrecy is intentional and involves something illicit, forbidden, or genuinely high stakes and potentially dangerous. Got it. Okay, from high stakes secrecy to, well, low stakes effort. Our 9th word describes action done without much care. Perfunctory. P-E-R-F-U-N-C-T-O-R-Y. Pronounced per-F-U-N-K-2.
Per-F-U-N-Segri. Another adjective.
Meaning of an action or gesture, carried out with a minimum of effort or reflection, done merely as a duty or routine.
Ah, yes, the just going through the motions word.
Exactly. It's so precise for that feeling. Think of a bored clerk's automatic, weak smile.
Or a quick, disinterested nod. A checkup where the doctor barely seems engaged.
Right. It has a strong negative feel, suggesting apathy, disinterest, a lack of real care.
And it critiques the quality of the effort, doesn't it? Not necessarily the outcome.
Good point. Like a perfunctory apology, you know immediately they don't really mean it, even if they said the words, "I'm sorry."
Exactly. The lack of genuine feeling is palpable.
And the origin makes total sense. Late Latin, perfunctorious.
Perfunctorious.
Meaning done carelessly, negligent. It comes from perfundi, meaning to get through with, perform.
Get through with.
Yeah, from perthrough and fungi to perform. So the core idea is just wanting to get through the task. Minimum effort, minimal engagement.
That nails it. Examples.
He gave the report a perfunctory glance. Didn't really read it. We got a perfunctory hello from the cashier, no warmth.
Right.
She offered a perfunctory apology that felt meaningless.
Yeah.
The safety check seemed perfunctory, missing obvious issues, or even art. The orchestra's performance felt perfunctory, lacking passion.
All great examples of that lack of spirit.
Common pairing.
Often modifies gestures or actions, perfunctory glance, perfunctory nod, perfunctory smile, also in a perfunctory manner or a perfunctory examination inspection.
Okay. How does it differ from cursory?
Very close. Both mean hasty and superficial. Cursory might emphasize the speed slightly more. Perfunctory emphasizes the lack of interest or effort, often interchangeable though.
Hasty, superficial.
Hasty is just about speed. Superficial is about lack of depth. Perfunctory is specifically about the lack of care or enthusiasm in the action.
Yeah.
And apathetic or indifferent.
Those describe the feeling or attitude behind the action. Perfunctory describes the action itself that results from that feeling. Ah, good distinction. And opposites. You hinted at one.
Yes. Our word meticulous is a fantastic antonym, also thorough, conscientious, enthusiastic.
Perfect. So, key takeaway.
Don't confuse perfunctory with just bad or incorrect.
Right. The task might get done, technically.
But the way it was done with minimal spirit, minimal care, just ticking a box, that's what makes it perfunctory. It's about the approach.
Excellent point. And it's fascinating, isn't it, how meticulous and perfunctory show such opposite approaches.
It really highlights a fundamental difference in engagement.
Which brings us perfectly to our final word, a concept that helps us frame these kinds of fundamental contrasts. Dichotomy. D-I-C-H-O-T-O-M-Y. Pronounced D-K-O-T-M-E.
Dichotomy noun again.
Meaning, a division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different.
And this word is just essential for critical thinking, isn't it? Especially in academic contexts.
Absolutely. It's much stronger than just difference or contrast.
Yeah, a dichotomy isn't just any difference. It's a sharp split. A fundamental division into two, usually mutually exclusive parts.
Like good versus evil, nature versus nurture.
Exactly, those big classic oppositions. Identifying a dichotomy helps frame an issue, structure an argument. And often, advanced thinking involves challenging a perceived dichotomy.
Showing things aren't so black and white.
Precisely. Showing the gray areas or the connections between the two seemingly opposed sides.
And the origin gives us that core image. Greek. Dichotomia?
Dichotomia.
Meaning a cutting in two. From desha in two apart and temnine to cut.
Cutting in two, like slicing something right down the middle.
Perfect mental model. It creates two distinct, often opposing halves. Think about, philosophers debate the dichotomy between free will and determinism.
Classic.
Politics. Beware of the false dichotomy often presented between the economy and the environment.
Right, suggesting you can't have both.
Sociology. The novel explores the dichotomy between the character's public persona and private self. Business. The firm faces a dichotomy. Innovate or cut costs. Art. Playing with the dichotomy of light and shadow.
All great examples of that fundamental split. How is it typically used?
Often with between, as in the dichotomy between X and Y, or describing the dichotomy itself. A false dichotomy, a stark dichotomy, a sharp dichotomy.
Okay. How is it different from just division or contrast?
Division is basic. Contrast just means difference. Dichotomy implies a deeper, more fundamental, often oppositional split into two parts.
What about polarity or duality?
Very close synonyms. They also strongly suggest two opposing poles or aspects. Dichotomy might feel slightly more formal or analytical sometimes.
Okay. And opposites. Is there an opposite to being cut in two?
Not really a single word again. The opposite concepts are about joining things together. Synthesis, integration, looking at things on a continuum or spectrum, finding harmony.
Makes sense. So the common mistake.
Using it for just any old difference, or, crucially, when there are more than two things involved.
Right. Its power is in the binary.
Exactly. Di-o-ti-umi, two parts. That di prefix is key.
Got it. Two mutually exclusive or starkly opposed categories.
Wow. Okay. That was quite a journey through those 10 words.
It really was a fantastic selection.
We've looked at their meanings, their nuances, where they came from, how not to use them. This really isn't just about memorizing words, is it?
Not at all. It's about sharpening your thinking. seeing the world with a bit more clarity, maybe.
Yeah, higher definition.
Yeah.
And being able to express those more complex thoughts with real precision and, well, elegance. Confidence, too.
Absolutely. But, knowing them is one thing. Using them is the next step. How do we move from knowledge to action?
Crucial point. These are tools, right? Not just things to admire.
Exactly. So the key is integration, but doing it strategically. Here's what I suggest for you listening. First, pick one word, just one to start with. Don't try to tackle all 10 at once.
Okay, good advice. Less overwhelming. Let's say I pick meticulous.
Okay, meticulous it is. Second step, become a word spotter. For the next few days, actively look and listen for meticulous. In articles, podcasts, conversations, prime your brain to notice it. You know that thing where you learn a new word and suddenly see it everywhere?
Oh, yeah, the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon?
Exactly. Use that. Third, create and contextualize. Write maybe 3 sentences using meticulous that are personal to you. I need to be meticulous filling out this form. My friend's travel itinerary was incredibly meticulous. I admire her meticulous approach to gardening. Make it real.
Connect it to my own life.
Right. Fourth step, activate it. Try using it in a low-stakes situation. Write it in an email. Maybe use it talking to a language partner if you have one.
Might feel a bit awkward at first.
It probably will. That's
Okay.
totally normal. But the second time will feel easier, and by the third or fourth time, it starts feeling like your word.
Okay, and then?
Then, once meticulous feels comfortable, natural, repeat the process with the next word on the list. Maybe ephemeral.
So, slow and steady, one at a time.
Infinitely better
Yeah.
than trying to cram them all in. You're building a real relationship with each word, not just memorizing.
That makes so much sense. It's about true integration. So, the final thought then. That fluency plateau we talked about.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the road. It's really just a launch pad.
I love that. A launch pad.
And hopefully, after today, you feel like you have a few more tools, maybe some rocket fuel to really take off from that plateau. Embrace the journey.